Hey everyone, so I'm doing a voiceover because when I recorded this video, my husband was sleeping, so the sound was super low, but I decided to make a new Inuyasha box. I did get some 8 and 4s from Shelly, and I originally had my 16s. I did create the first Inuyasha box with 5s and 10s, and I used one of the 16s for a lid, and it actually worked out pretty good, but I decided to do another box. My first one sold pretty fast, so I wanted to make a new one. And I'm thinking with this box, I wanted to do just like a cubby and then like a drawer. So I'm needing to use my clear acrylic strips so I can extend and widen the shelf and the base. And I really love this design, and I was thinking about using just the 4s on the bottom, but I decided to go with the 8 centimeters. At first, I was going to try to stack the shelf on top and then do another row of acrylics on top of the shelf, but I decided not to do it that way overall just because it would have made the box a little bit too high. So I just am going with the 8 centimeters for the walls. And then I'm going to do the 16 on the bottom and then use that for the shelf and then my lid. So I'm going to start getting my clear acrylic strips out so I can start measuring and cutting everything. Because I should only need it for 4 of the pieces because I'll be doing the back panel, the bottom, the shelf, and then of course the lid. And I do want the sidewalls to sit more flush with the lid, so that way I can kind of push them up the side a little bit more than normal, so the lid will rest on there good. So I am going to double the clear acrylic strips on the sides to give it more support. Now with these clear acrylic strips that I got from Temu, they are more rounded, which does make it a little bit hard. I'm not sure if you can see, but they are a round shape versus the ones that I originally got from Peachy a while ago that are more rectangular, squared-ish a little bit, but it's just hard since she bent them, you know, in the shipment, and I have to try to flatten them. So I like using these when I can just because they're straight and I don't have to do anything, but it does make it a little bit hard sometimes when you're gluing them together because it is rounded, and you know it is hard to glue things to a rounded shape, but they still work good. I am going to look on Temu a little bit more to see if I can find ones that are more of a squared or rectangle shape and see if I can find them and buy those. But for now, I'm just going to start cutting them. I'm going to measure on the bottom of the panel and cut it. And I'm going to do this with the one that goes on the back side, and then I'll be measuring the sides of the 16 centimeters for the bottom shelf and the lid. If I do cut it and it's a little bit too long, I do trim it up a little bit. Sometimes I'll wait until I have it glued on and then it's dried before I cut a little bit more. But I try to get it as close as I can when I make the first cut. And I am going to double everything because I want to make sure that the lid fits well, and I want to make sure that the side panels can go up high enough to meet that back panel. Since the back panel is going to be glued on top of the bottom acrylic, I need those side panels to have more height to them, so I am going to double it. Now, typically when I'm doing multiple clear acrylic strips for the same piece, I'll make the first cut, and then I'll get another strip out, and I'll just kind of line it up to the one that I cut, and then I'll make the second cut. So that way I can try to get it to the same length as I did the first one. And it makes it a little bit easier to do it this way. And then I'll typically glue on the first one, let that one kind of dry a little bit, and then I'll glue the second one on, and then I'll let that dry before I put it on the box. Okay, so I just got the first acrylic strip glued on. The other panel has been sitting for a minute because I'm doing both of those side panels. And now I'm going to start measuring the 16 centimeter piece. That's the drawer piece right there that I did with the 4 8 centimeters. And then I'm taking a 16 centimeter and doing the bottom part, the shelf, and the lid. And I'm going to need to do double clear acrylic strips for all 3 of those pieces as well. So that'll take me a minute to get measured, and then I'll start gluing those on, let it dry for a little bit, but I'm going to get the drawer made first. Again, when you do drawers, make sure that you take the side panels, you glue those on top of the acrylic, and then your front and back panels, you attach those along the side, so that way it fits in good. Typically, when you use clear acrylic strips, since it does widen the box a lot more, I mean, you might be able to get away with just putting the side panels on the side and then your front and back on top of the acrylic, but I still do them how I normally would do it. That way I have enough wiggle room with the drawer to make sure that it opens and it closes well. So I'm just going to start getting the drawer glued, and then I'll let that dry for a little bit, and then I'm going to start getting the bottom base piece, the shelf, and the top with the clear acrylic strips glued to it. Okay, so now I'm going to do the 16 centimeter piece for my bottom base and add the clear acrylic strips to it. I already got everything measured out. I cut it, and now I'm just going to glue both of the side pieces, and then I just kind of take my little bookmark and guide the clear acrylic strip to the side of the acrylic and push it on there. You have to be really careful when you're using the rounded ones, because if you push too hard, it just wants to keep rolling. So just be very light and careful when you are pushing it against that acrylic, so that way it doesn't, you know, keep trying to roll over and it just kind of sticks to the side. I've really enjoyed using these clear acrylic strips. It's literally been a game changer when it comes to my boxes. I've been able to use them in several of my boxes, and I don't think I'll ever go back to not using them, especially when I'm doing drawers. It even helps when I make the boxes that have the drawer on the bottom that swivels out and then the cubby on top, because usually that top front panel on the cubby usually doesn't fit correctly, you know, because of the measurements. So I always add clear acrylic strips to the side pieces of that front panel so that way I can get it in there good. But I really enjoy using them. So if you haven't bought them yet, I would highly recommend going on Temu and getting them. But I'll go ahead and get these glued on, and then I'm going to get the shelf one done along with the lid and start letting those dry before I start putting everything together. It keeps stopping the recording because my storage is running out. That's what's going on. So I just had to empty my trash. I need to go through my videos because my one Skull Panda box I did back on Valentine's Day. I haven't even edited that video, and I need to do that so that way I can delete all of the other videos I did. Alright, so I'm going to let all of this dry, and then I'll just kind of show you the process as I go. Okay. But I'm going to clip this really quick. It's a lot easier to clip them when it's in the corner and they're rounded like this, because then you're not touching the acrylic. Okay, now I'm going to get the film off this piece and my side pieces really quick so I can glue it on, and I'll be right back. I mean, it's really pretty. Because my last Inuyasha box I did kind of like the same thing I'm doing now, where I did a little cubby on top, a drawer on the bottom, but I didn't have like an actual panel in the front of the cubby because I was doing 10 and 5 centimeters. So I took acrylics from another Inuyasha design that I have, and I kind of worked with those to create the front panel, and it actually turned out really good. I was quite surprised. Okay, now I want to double check this clear acrylic strip on my left side. That is actually going to go over. Yeah, that's too high. I need to cut this a little bit more.
You just can't tell. Even if you're burly, you might not always win. So I look forward to the next game.
There we go. Sometimes I don't like to do it that way, just because I don't like them all uneven. Okay. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, the objective is to try and get, the reason why I put the clear acrylic strip on these side panels is I want to try and slide it up to the very top so that way it all meets together. So basically this clear acrylic strip is going to rest on this one. That's my goal. So let's hope it works this way. Because when the lid goes on, I want it to be, you know, I want it to sit flush against the panels. And then that front panel for the cubby, I really want to try to make sure that that is sitting good on it too. All right, here we go. I'm just a little hesitant about it being round. Seems to be resting how I want it. Okay. Alright, I'm going to let this one dry a little bit really quick before I do the next side. Okay, so now I'm going to try to get the shelf on. It's actually staying on really nicely. I like it. Okay, drawer. This is going to be such a pretty box. Alright. But trying to put glue on a rounded surface it's different. I think I'm going to take my squared acrylic strips that I have, and I think I'm going to start figuring out a way to bend them so I can try to get them straight. I was going to wait until this dried a little bit before I peeled the top part of the film off, but it is a little bit more trickier to do that when you're doing these, but whatever. We'll just see how it works. Okay.
I think I can beat you. This is chilly. God, I wondered if I'd been away from Korea for too long. How dare she look straight at me? That was so cool.
Okay, so we got this on.
I will show you why I've
Fine.
never been beaten for 14 years. This is a battle of the
Okay.
I think people thought I would lose.
Okay, and then this part
I will shatter your
will come in a little bit like that.
Okay, take me on if you can.
So I'm going to take the back of the film off.
I think I'd be
Okay, so now we're going to do,
You're almost there.
going to go on the bottom. Actually, let me wipe that off.
One more time. Just keeping yourself on top. Good, nice. What's that?
And it looks like that strip is sitting flush with the rest of the row, which is good. Perfect.
Gotta go. You gotta go.
So the lid is going to sit flush on this side, and this side, because this side is going to be a little bit higher because I have it on top of the shelf.
That's it. Go, Yummy.
Okay, so now this side, just going to keep gluing, gluing, and gluing. Okay.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, this one should be fun. I've always been a fast runner since I was a child.
Oh my god, I see a piece of hair on the bottle.
Wouldn't he be a slow runner? I got picked. He was young and somewhat pretty looking guy. And I thought he was on the frail side. So I thought, oh, winning won't be a problem. I'll show you the pride of Hajayoung, the strongest man in Korea. No, doubtful. It would feel nice to be the strongest man in
Okay.
Korea.
Wow, nice, nice.
Oh, I felt excited. Lots of people are looking forward to it. Let's show them what I'm made of. I'll show them the superiority of my physique. If I grab the ball at the beginning, I can win. If I lose the ball, I definitely lose. At any cost, I must run, grab the ball, and beat it. It's about whether or not he gets the ball.
Alright, let's see how this goes.
Oh, he's fast. He's fast.
Oh no, no. Why did he have to fumble it?
What you mean?
That happens.
He shouldn't have fumbled the ball.
You go too fast and miss the ball. I
I
guess.
couldn't stop in time.
He's too fast, too fast.
Oh, I'm in trouble. It's over now. Yes. He won. Look at Jaeyoung's face. How do you take it from him? Wow, there's no beating that.
Okay.
Yes.
See? It's coming together.
If he gets caught,
He's like a pit bull.
Okay, so while my clear acrylic strips are drying on the lid, I decided to get my rhinestones out. And I'm going to do my pink, like, AB kind on here because it matches the cherry blossom tree. Super pretty. And then my husband gave me this really awesome, like, sandpaper. He works at, like, a tile company. He makes, like, all of the colors for the tile. And this helped me smooth out where I cut them, you know, so they're nice and flat. It was pretty awesome. Okay, I'm not going to do the entire rhinestone process on video. I just kind of want to do a little bit and kind of show you where I place them. After I did my very first box with rhinestones, I was just like addicted. I was like, oh my god, this is what I love doing. And it's a good way to use them up because I have a crap ton of rhinestones. So sometimes I'll like use it just on where I do the clear acrylic strips, or I might come down the border. So what I'm thinking about doing on this one is I am going to do on the clear acrylic strips because I have them on the back, and then I'll have them down the side of the lid, and then I can come down here and maybe come across the top. I could also come across, you know, the bottom. So that's how I'm going to start it and see how I like it. And then I just use the wax pens. They work really well for me. When I was first rhinestoning, I was using like a diamond painting tool, and oh my god, it was awful. It took so long. My goodness, I need to build me a bigger organizer. The one-piece one that I built myself, it's amazing, of course, but like, it just, ugh, I need more room. Up in here, I switched the, oh there we go, the tip to get a smaller gauge. We will see how the rounded surface does in just a sec. I really hope it glues on okay. Because even though I like the rectangle ones, I just don't want to sit there and have to spend all of that time straightening them. Okay. It's actually staying on. Hopefully once I straighten them up, it'll still be like that.
Wow, that's crazy. Is someone gonna end up dead? I'll let you live. Thank you.
And I'm really liking this pink color on here too. At first I was thinking about using like a hot pink, but I used a lot on the Barbie box I did. And my husband was like, you should do white. So I listened to him because he's amazing with colors. That'll work. Okay, now I want to see how it does on this part. I know it's still a little jacked up and jagged, but I might be able to get it to stay. Because this liquid infusion stuff is like amazing with rhinestones. Okay. I'm not going to mess around with that one too much because I don't want it to come off. Okay, and I think we'll just do one section at a time. Because I still have to take the film off of here too, so I just got to make sure that my placement isn't in its way.
Jeez, this is so intense. He can't get grown up. He has to keep his hands free.
A minute, 30 seconds. A minute, 30 seconds. Nice. Oh, this is insane.
This is crazy.
Nice. Nice go goal.
He did a demonstration of wrestling skills and confidence. It was so scary. Told him. Kyungjin, 1 minute left.
The other guy's managing to hang in there.
Isn't it like looking so pretty? Totally add rhinestones to your boxes. You'll love it.
Now go. Run. Get the ball.
I wanted to make another Inuyasha box pretty fast because I just got my 8 and 4 centimeters, like, I think it was on Friday. Because I sold my first box so fast, and I just wanted to try to get one posted and see if it would sell again. Because one of my one-piece boxes were taken down, some of my HK stuff was, some of my Skull Panda, which it was the Skull Panda CC irregular shaped acrylics that I was using on pop sockets. I don't know, it just drives me crazy that they do that, but I get why, but it's like it's a freaking pop socket. I was thinking about trying Shopify, but I also heard they're cracking down too.
Well done, Kyungjin.
That was worthwhile.
So my booty just needs to go to like craft fairs and events. Ah.
Before I smashed my torso, I got a bit emotional. Tears were blood. Kyungjin, it was an honor to compete with you. I hope you keep winning. Be the champion.
That's scary. Wrestling was really scary. It's so scary for real. It was the scariest day ever too. Wrestling.
Alright, so that's just like a cool little look-see up here, how it was starting to come on the side. It's because of that rounded surface. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just re-glue a couple up here and see if it works. I knew I was going to have a little bit of problems. I think I just need to maybe add a little bit more glue than I normally do. Because, you know, it does dry clear, so that's a plus.
The winner is Kim Min-cho. This is crazy. The Arena A winner is Woo Jin-yoon. Looks like a holiday spot.
Oh, she's so fast.
Hang on, Dayo! The Arena B winner is Kim Dayo. The Arena A winner is Song Ha-young.
So yeah, definitely
He's here.
an addition to the boxes, and it's super cute. Alright, I'll show you what it looks like when I'm all done. Alrighty, I finished it. So I actually had to come in and fix the knob because when I recorded my final video, I noticed I glued the knob on the opposite side of the drawer. So I was noticing as I was showing it that it was like coming in backwards. So I'm going to be careful opening the drawer, but there's the drawer. And then all the rhinestones. I want all, it just opens so well. It goes all the way around. I absolutely love it. And I have the lid opening this way because, of course, no matter what, this front panel is going to come up a little bit higher than the sides. So trying to go like this, it's not going to work because over here I don't have enough room to put the hinge. But I like it like this. I think everything turned out great. The one thing that is a little bit different, because since I double clear stripped it on both sides because I doubled it right here, it does look, you know, like that when you open the lid. You can see, of course, you can see what I used, but it doesn't look bad because since I have the rhinestones on the opposite side, it just kind of makes everything even. But I think it turned out really well. I'm trying to be super careful because I do not have film on the top of this. I tried pushing it back up after I got the hinges on because, you know me, I like to try to keep it on as much as I possibly can. I still have it on the bottom of the drawer and everything, but when I take pictures, I'm definitely gonna focus more on, you know, like the lid and then the inside and then probably the inside of the drawer because I don't want to peel everything off just to take pictures. But there we go. I think the rhinestones turned out super cute, and I just wanted to kind of show it off, you know, just so you can see what you can do with rhinestones in the boxes. All right, guys, have a good day. Bye.